Hey guys, I want to start making these monthly updates as sort of a regular series so that you're not just getting announcements of new videos, so I can, make some more unique content just for you. First order of business, of course, is that there is a new episode of Great Levels in Gaming available on the Achievement Hunter YouTube page. This one's covering new arrivals, the first chapter of Dead Space, and I'll link the video in the description below the video as well as in an annotation on screen. And additionally, I'm also going to pin it to my Twitter account at MaxBarnyard until the next video comes out so that you can always have access to it there. I've also been notified that Achievement Hunter has created a playlist for the videos for the series, for the Great Levels in Gaming series, that you can access through their channel, and I'll continue to add the links to those videos to the Great Levels in Gaming playlist that I manage. I also want to talk a little bit about Bloodborne, since I've been playing a lot of it lately, and I want to talk about specifically its change from Dark Souls games and how they handle backstabs. I remember reading an article, I think it was from Patrick Klepek over at Kotaku, discussing how sort of there was some contention over backstabs as a mechanic, that they seemed like kind of like a free win button. And after playing a lot of Bloodborne, I actually really like the way that From Software managed the sort of similar move in Bloodborne, where now, instead of just walking behind an enemy and hitting the regular attack button, you have to get behind them, do a charged heavy attack, which is by default on the R2 button, and then once that staggers them, you go up to them and press the regular attack button, the normal attack, to get what's called a visceral attack. Depending on what footage I use, you might see one right here. And the reason that I really like that is because it's not just a free win button. You don't just walk behind the enemy and suddenly get this period of free damage and total invulnerability. You actually have to sort of put yourself at risk for it by doing this slow charge up move. And depending on the weapon you're using, it varies the amount of time that it'll take for you to get that backstab, to get the stagger. So I really like that it essentially forces you to put yourself at risk if you're going to get this eventual period of free damage and total invulnerability. I think it's much more interesting than at least the way Dark Souls 1 did it, which I still love, by the way, of just walking behind the enemy, hitting the regular attack button, and having that free period of total invulnerability to all damage and movement, and getting a lot of damage on the enemy. I can't remember exactly how it's done in Dark Souls 2. It's been a while since I played any of it, and I didn't really dig it quite as much as I like Dark Souls 1 and Bloodborne. But I remember it being a little bit less invulnerable, a little bit more balanced in that regard. But I think Bloodborne really hit the nail on the head, at least for what I'm looking for, by making it so that you have to put yourself at risk before getting that free damage. Finally, the last thing I want to talk about is I want to introduce a part of this monthly update series called Ask Max. I want to see if I can get some questions from you guys from the audience for me to answer here on the monthly update videos. It could be anything. It could be gaming related. It could be just general life related. If you want to get to know me a little bit as a person, I know that I don't really come through as me in these videos too much. It's always been focused on the games, but I imagine some of you might have some questions for me. So I hope to get those questions if you send an email to greatlevelsingaming@gmail.com with the subject line Ask Max. I would be very excited to receive your questions and would be really excited to answer them here. So once again, the new Dead Space video is up on Achievement Hunter's channel. I think Bloodborne handles backstabs in one of the most awesomely balanced ways yet that I've seen in the Soulsborne games, and I want to get your questions. So send them to greatlevelsingaming@gmail.com, again with the subject line Ask Max. See ya.